Hey everybody, I hope you all are doing well and welcome back to Michael's Matters. And we are here just a few months away from the end of the year. And as we are in the later parts of October, that means it is time for us to do our monthly video for Social Security benefits payouts dates, which for folks on Social Security benefits could be Social Security Retirement, which is the majority of folks, but it could also be Social Security Disability SSDI, as well as Supplemental Security Income SSI, and survivors and spousals, and really all the other iterations of the Social Security program. Furthermore, today we are going to talk about how much Social Security was originally meant to cover in somebody's retirement budget and how much it actually covers for the majority of older and retired Americans. Now, this is Michael's Matters, and before we get to the video, if you like these videos, if you find them interesting, if you find them helpful, or hey, if you at least find them useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because it really does help the channel to grow, and we are so thankful for that. But also because you get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. All right, now, let's get down to the video. So let's start off today with the payout dates for folks on Social Security for the month of November 2023. And really, November is going to be the first month that payments start to come back to normal, having no payments for some folks in October and double payments for folks in September, mainly those people who are getting SSI. But November is back to a more common archetype. So let's get started with the payout dates for those folks who are receiving Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, only. So for the month of November, these benefits will be sent out on Wednesday, November 1st. And remember, of course, as always, these dates are the dates that benefits get sent out. So they can oftentimes be delayed, either because the bank takes time to process them, or if you are old school and get paper checks, snail mail can take a bit of time as well. Next up is going to be benefits for those folks who are either receiving Social Security benefits, as well as Supplemental Security Income, SSI, or if they started to receive their Social Security benefits from back in the day, prior to when the scheduling change to staggered happened. So that would be before 1997. And these folks will get their Social Security benefits sent out on Friday, November 3rd. For these next folks, this is if you have one of the various standard versions of Social Security. So that could be Social Security Retirement, survivors, spousal, or all the other versions that are out there. And the scheduled payout date for these are based off when somebody was born within the month in which they were born. So if we start off with anybody who was born on the 1st through the 10th of whatever their birth month was, these folks will get their Social Security benefits sent out to them on Wednesday, November 8th. If somebody was born between the 11th and the 20th of the month, they will get their Social Security benefits sent out on Wednesday, November 15th. And lastly, for those folks who were born late in the month, that would be from the 21st through the 31st of the month, they'll get their benefits sent out on Wednesday, November 22nd. And of course, as per usual, there may be a couple days difference between when the benefits are sent out and when they hit your bank account, so make adjustments for that. But that is going to be the payouts for the month of November 2023. Next up, let's talk a little bit about something that we discussed a little bit last month, where we did our Social Security payout dates, where we talked about really the millions of Americans who are getting hit with letters from Social Security requesting them to pay back the overpayments that Social Security had sent them out. But this month, I want to talk about how Social Security benefits are designed, what they're supposed to cover, and really how much it actually covers for the average Social Security benefit in 2023. The long and the short of the Social Security story is that back in the early parts of the 20th century, it was not uncommon for American seniors and folks who were disabled to be in a situation that once they were no longer able to work, they basically fell directly into abject poverty. Because part of the reality of this is that back then folks were not any better at saving than they are today. This left FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, with the tireless effort to improve the social safety net program in the United States. And what he did is come up with Social Security. It's probably not him who came up with it. He probably had a whole bunch of folks who wanted to do it, but he implemented it. And what it was to do is to help those folks who were too old to work or disabled and replace some of their pre-retirement incomes once that happened. It was never really meant to replace 100%, though, of folks' retired benefits because, one, that'd be very expensive. And even back then, it wasn't uncommon for folks to work for one company for years and get some sort of additional retirement pension. So the Social Security benefit was meant to cover some, but not all, of the expenses of somebody who is retired in the United States. What this means is that Social Security benefits were designed really to only cover about 40% of what workers' pre-retirement income was. But right now, according to Social Security Administration, around 37% of men and 42% of women say that their monthly Social Security benefit checks pay for more than half, more than 50% of their income, which could become a very dangerous program if Social Security cuts do end up coming to fruition in the next 8 to 10 years, as the Social Security Trust Fund reports that by 2033, as little as 70% of benefits may be the maximum that they're able to pay out. This is only worsened by orders of magnitude for those 12% of men and 15% of women who say that Social Security benefits account for 90% of their benefits. So this ultimately brings us to the question of, for the average Social Security beneficiary, if the benefits they're getting right now was 40% of their income, how much they need to have to stick with that original Social Security income design. To do this, we can take the current average Social Security benefits for retirees, which right now at the moment is at $1,840.27 a month for the month of August, which would mean that this income, that $1,840.27, is 40% of what their total income should be. On a monthly basis, that would mean that the total income that they should have, that a retiree should have, including their Social Security benefits, should be at $4,600 a month. So at $1,840.27 a month is being provided by Social Security. The remaining income that is supposed to be chipped in by retirees is an additional $2,760.40 a month, or $33,124 a year in today's prices, which definitely is a hefty amount. I mean, that's still, 60% of someone's income should be provided by themselves, and that is definitely not nothing, but also especially considering that the average American had retirement savings at the age of 65 of $426,070. And remember, the average person in these studies is never the average person. In reality, it is probably a few people with a lot of money in their savings, and there are a whole bunch of people who have less money, and that averages out to that $426,070. But when we do look at that average overall, put everyone together and put all their money together and average it out, it means that the average American would have about 12 years worth of savings to live off, assuming the inflation rate stays the same for their savings as it does for the COLA with their Social Security benefit. Which of course means that now I got to go do my calculation and look at where my retirement savings are at and see if I could even get close to that. Overall, there are a couple things that I think are really interesting about this, and things that I could really become a concern at some point. First is that it seems like the average American retirement saving falls in line with this idea that Social Security will cover approximately 40% of their cost, and that is guaranteed, at least until it's not. The other issue, though, is that the equations for Social Security that give them 40% is super duper outdated. It was done in the mid-20th century, and that 40% doesn't account for the rising cost of inflation and healthcare costs that are hitting seniors hard right now. Also, it didn't account that people would be living into their 70s, 80s, and even 90s, which really can take a toll on somebody's retirement budget. Lastly, with the way that the Social Security benefits are adjusted yearly with their COLA or cost of living adjustment, because it is not fully accounting for the needs that seniors have each and every year, Social Security benefits have been losing ground against inflation for decades at this point, which means that it eats away at the ability for our older friends and our older neighbors and our older family members to be able to provide for themselves without additional Social Security supplementation. All right, so that's it for today's My Goals Matters, and I really hope that you found this video interesting or helpful, or at least useful, and if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because it really does help the channel to grow, and we are so thankful for that, but also because you get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. So for My Goals Matters, I'm Michael, hoping that you take care of yourselves, take care of others, and have a happy, healthy day.